panaro. Takunche. Sibiribira patala. You unega wanja. You want your wish. You not ever palava. You want your this. You get oka. You want wrong with speed. But you want show. You want show. Why you want show? And I mean, yeah, I just came a little. Where my hand not wish I cannot force it. You not on salary, but you want them a check. Why you want them a check? When them go finish, then you start to build. You not got it, then you want some more weed. You can pay bills, then you want anything. You say the food not sweet, but you say eating it. Tell me what it forcing you to chop it. You only got one job. You want your wish. You not ever balaba. You want your his. You get okra. You want more with speed. But you want show. You want show. But you want show. All I think you do in my hand inside. All I ever ask a friend, tell your him on inside. You want the pizza, don't eat pizza, you want Billy Kata. So your speed and get prepared for the rebound. You only wish you realize you never want that. You go for meeting to be your dad, then you start to cry. The thing you not ever, you go that you will show the table. Making money with you, then you spend it on the table. Your family crying, you're begging, they cannot put on the table. Putting yourself on big show, that fake flow. You get beat up, then you say you big shot. You got down to a fold, you get beat hard. You talking too much, your mouth for a salaba. Soon as they break, you prepare for palava. You better stop it, I have it, I think it's necessary. Don't let me scary, I hear it, I think it's getting headache. To my vision, I'm good for scrapper. Scrapper. To my vision, I'm good for hustlers. Scrapper. Now they do to my easy, but you in the gata. And you know, say your oka stay in the garage. You not get mad, you still want how to she did that. Don't get black for the money, you want take seat. You not want drink, or you choosing anything. You can buy spray, but you want some sweet. Your teeth are correct, your mouth, you want eat meat. You not get self when you send it for credit. So when you come in booty, yeah, you not get TV, or you get buying this. You not get boyfriend, yeah, then you want marry now. So out of sky, they make me fall from. You only get one job. You want your wish. You not ever palava. You want your his. You get okra. You want more with speed. But you want show. You want show. But you want show. To my vision, I'm good for scrapper. Scrapper. To my vision, I'm good for hustlers. Scrapper. You only got one job. You want your wish. You not ever palava. You want your his. You get okra. You want more with speed. But you want show. You want show. But you want show. It's a panaro. Takunche. Sibiribira patala.
It rains.
1847, Duke of Palace.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, welcome to Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. This morning we wake up to TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Hang on 1 minute. I hope you all were listening to me. My volume was a little low, so let me make sure I'm up. We woke up to TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. So, what has this day got in store for us? We look at our society. Things are falling apart. Things are falling apart. Our government cannot handle the leadership role it has. It can't. Simple electricity, they can't keep it up. There's a problem. There's a failure to communicate somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. And we got to get down to the nitty gritty of this because if we don't, Liberia will die under this regime. Will die. Literally die. We can't go on like this. Our society is falling backward. Look at our youth. People talking about all the little girls in Liberia tending to lesbians. What kind of new fab is that? You see all of them hugging on each other and kissing on each other. Is that a new thing? It's sickening. Stop it. We need to deal with all these things in our society. We need to deal with these things in our society. So let's take a few minutes. Let me start my lesson and let's see where this will lead us. Okay? My topics for this morning are, and my topics come around, please. Liberia, a society run amok. 2, collaborating political parties, CPP, Saga. Unity Party in action. And 3, my Buduburam refugee camp, Liberian community in Ghana. So let me take a break, take a sip of my coffee, get my structure together, and I'll be back to discuss these things in greater detail soon. We got to reopen Bella Yala, our jail. It's time for people to be going to jail now. I've been talking this thing from time immemorial. It's becoming a reality now. When our government has failed so bad, that even the little children in our country questioning their government, their leadership, their officials. Something is wrong. Something is wrong somewhere. And we have to and must rectify this. We can't go on like this. We must rectify this. So let's look at my topic. Liberia, a society run amok. We cannot seem to get our functioning systems going. Our airport cannot be electrified. Even when it's electrified, it's not reliable or dependable. As the example of 2 days ago, when this plane was coming from Brussels, Brussels Airlines was coming from Sierra Leone to Liberia and had to divert their flight and go back to Sierra Leone because when they were about to land, lights at RIA went out. Can you imagine how people felt when the plane was they told them they were about to land, then all of a sudden they tell them they can't land again, they're low on fuel, but they have to circle around. I think they circled around first to see if light was going to come back, and there was no light. They were low on fuel, so they had to go to Sierra Leone and land there and put the people back down and get fuel again to come back to Liberia again when they get light. Can you imagine that? And all those people on that flight that had connecting flights to Europe, America, etc., were delayed. Some of them missed their flights. Many missed their flights. They had to rebook them on different flights. When these things happen in our country, to one airline, and that airline is terminating its services to Liberia on the 30th of April in this month. Then it happened again to another airline in the same month. That's a cause for concern. It's a cause for concern. I hear that these two airlines, Air France and Brussels Airways and Belgium Airways, whatever it is, those are the two airlines flying direct flights from Europe to Liberia. And now one of them is discontinuing the services to Liberia because of bad services, bad gas, incompetency at the airport. People can't function well. Something is wrong with our country, man. Something is seriously wrong with our country. So let's hope that Belgium Airlines does not decide to cancel its services to Liberia too. Then we'll be in deep shape. Because this can't continue. Besides that, look at our country. Look at the dirt all around our city. Look at the feces just flowing all over the place. Look at our youth. I'm just talking about them now. The same thing, our youth. I hear most of the young girls turning to lesbianism. Hey, I'm not against lesbianism. But for my society to turn into that kind of habit because it's a fad or because of the sexual urges are uncontrollable, so they gotta sleep with each other. What happened to decency in our country? What happened to young children maintaining their celibacy? What are you call it? Celibacy until they reach a certain age or get married. Where all you young girls kissing on each other and trying to make love to each other. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with our society? What is wrong with our society? We're getting all the bad influences from the West and from the East and from wherever else we're getting it. We're not getting the good influences. If we're getting the good influences, our country will be far better than it is today. Far better. But the way our country is today, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Because we're not moving forward, we're moving backward. Everything seems to be going backward. We take one step forward, we take two steps backward. It's not improvement. It's not development. It's not progress and advancement. It's a failure. Dismal failure. Time and time again. We can't continue on this path, my people. We got to rise up and hold our leadership accountable. We got to hold our leadership accountable. As long as George Weah feels that we are not at his throat with our knives and our cutlasses and things, this thing will continue. This thing will continue. As long as these people know that they can control our society, put fears in the citizens to keep them from protesting and demonstrating and sit-ins and all kinds of and activities that demonstrate that frustration with this government, there's a problem. There's a problem. Because the more we sit down and accept these things, the more the anger built in us, the more the frustration built in us. And when it bursts, it's going to be bad. Because this government It's not permitting the people to express their anger. It's not permitting the people to show that it is displeased with this incompetent, useless, failed government. They're not letting the people rise up and be who they got to be in a system that affords them the right to demonstrate, to march, and express their grievances against their leaders. So, when all this frustration boiled up, when all this anger boiled up, what do you think going to lead? What do you think is going to lead to? Our country is already suffering from war. We're still trying to revive our society, our infrastructure, our social lives. We're still trying to revive all these things. And we're not even doing it right because we're taking all the negative things to bring into our society, not the good things to raise our consciousness and move us to the next level, but the negative things. So, as long as we're bringing these negative things, how can we hope to avoid violence, to avoid unrest, to avoid destruction of our nation further? We can't. We can't. Because a hungry man is an angry man. You know that. A hungry man is an angry man. And my people are becoming hungry people. They hunger for knowledge, for wisdom, for understanding out of this debased life they're living. Our young children going to school, kissing on each other. What is this? Huh? All our young girls looking at men. They want to grow muscle and wear trousers hanging on them and sneakers and all kind of, not looking at ladies. What's wrong with y'all, man? What's wrong with y'all? Huh? What's wrong with you? Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Seriously wrong with my society. And we need to rectify it. We need a correctional officer to lead the Republic of Liberia. Let me correct these people's behaviors and attitudes and put it on the right path to change in direction. Because we can't continue to this. Our leadership is so weak that our society is weaker. Our leadership is so bad, our society is worse. Our leadership is so terrible, our people are lost. Where can we go from here? Where our young children don't even know who they are no more. They don't even know whether they're men or women or who they are. They don't even know it. We live in a debased society. The children are lost. The children are blind. The children are backwards. The youth have no future in our society today. Gayism, lesbianism, and all these kind of things, nothing wrong with them. Those are things that occur naturally in society sometimes. But for my whole society, all my young girls to be in the street kissing on each other and things like that, that's not what our society is about. That's not what our society is about. Some things you can't change. Some things you have to accept. Yes, we accept them if they are natural. But when they are unnatural, it begs asking questions. It begs examining the root of these problems. It begs finding solutions to a wayward society. My society is running amok, man. We have no leadership, no religious leadership, no social leadership, no political leadership. Our country is just running on fumes. We're running on fumes. George Weah is immature. He can't lead us. He's a drunk. He can't lead us. He's an idiot. He can't lead us. We call him idiot so much now. I bet you George Weah think that his name. Yeah, idiot. Yeah. He think that his name. And it doesn't matter to him no more because of his name. Hey, idiot. Hey, hi. Hey, idiot. Oh, hi. Yeah. And talking, I know what I gotta be talking. Yeah. Hey, you did. Hey, hey. When your president know he's an idiot and he answers to it, that's a problem, man. Hey, you did. Yeah. Hey, Babu. Hey. Yeah. Right. I mean, and to see the Liberian people, his cronies, the churches, kneeling down in front of George Weah, paying homage to him like he's some kind of religious man. I wonder where my country is going. I wonder what happened to my society. I wonder what happened to the decent people in my country, the Christian love, the God loving people, the real Christians. What happened to them? They're not there no more. So who in Liberia? Because the people who got crosses and wearing all these things, they're not Christians. I don't know those people. I don't know them by their behaviors. You should know them. People worshiping this idiot, the ignoramus, calling him pastor and things like that. George Weah the pastor. Is George Weah pastor, then Satan is king. Yeah, that pastor. Give me a break. See all these people submitting themselves. Oh, our country can't grow. Our country is dead. Cursed. Cursed. Prince Johnson, pastor. Prince Johnson, a pastor. Can you see this ragamuffin? A pastor? A killer? A flesh eater? A pastor? Give me a break. Yeah, give me a break, my people. Where our country going? Our country has a serious problem. Our society has run amok. We gotta catch it and bring it back, put it in some kind of structure. But everything just going crazy, man. Everything just going crazy in our country. Crazy. The stealing, the murders, the corruption, the incompetence, the ineptitude, everything just far out of control. And we gotta catch it and bring it back in, reel everything back in, and put it back in the bottom. Because this is our country, and we are the masters of our own destiny. Rise up, my people. Rise up. Let's tell this guy enough is enough. Let's run these ragamuffins and slum people out of our government. Let's run them back into Suniwan. Let's run them back into Door Town, into Door Community. Let's run them back into Slipway. Let's run them back out of our mansion. Get them out of the mansion. Run these criminals and bastards back into the slums where they belong. George Weah is slum. Put him back in the slum. Put him enough of the pageantry, enough of the show and everything. He's had enough. Let's strip it from him now and put him back into community. Take everything he owns that he stole from our country and put him back into community. If you all can't do it, call Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. Let me come and do it and set this damn country straight. Enough is enough. Aluta, continue. In the cause of the people, the struggle must, will, and shall continue. Let me take a break. I love it. Hey, now let's check this out now. CPP, Collaborating Political Parties of Liberia. These people are confused. I know what happened with Joe Boca. Joe Boca just got George. We are pulling him this way, pulling him this way, pulling him this way, pulling him this way. Just pulling George by old man all over the place. They told him can't be witness. George, when you want Papi testify against LA communists. Can you imagine that? Papi said, I'm not coming home. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. He told the security, and now you are locked the gate. They couldn't deliver the subpoena to subpoena the former Vice President Joe Boca to testify. The Papi said, I'm not testifying. I said I was going to do it, but I'm not doing it no more. I was just driving, See how our people are. So now, after he tried a job at the companies that failed, and the companies then job him in the NEC. Now the NEC ruled in favor of Ella Cummings, saying that Papi Boca cannot have nobody in the senatorial race in Lofa County. So Papi pissed. Papi said, no Boca, no Unity Party, no election. So we're waiting to see this happen now. Okay? So we just heard that there was Etta Lasana, the election commissioner chair, was found not guilty of her criminality. The charge are on her for those thermometers she bought for her brother. So they say she's not guilty. Ain't nobody guilty in this government. Ain't nobody guilty in the criminal government. Gosh, give me a break. Yeah, give me a break. Okay, give me a break. Yeah, give me a break, please. Nobody guilty. You ever see prosecute anybody in this country? Ever? No. So yeah, we are back to the same old 6 and 7. Push the rock, move the ground, shake the wire. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I give it same old Liberia, we ain't changing. So after Boca breaks away from the collaborating political party, he goes to field a candidate in this forthcoming senatorial election in Lofa County, by-election. Ellie Cummings comes with Musa Bellet and says, no, you can't do that. You're still a part of us. If you want to leave, you can leave, but you can't leave a UP. Go call yourself Jungle Bunnies or call yourself nightclub party or whatever you all call yourself. Go call yourself something. But not Unity Party. Unity Party belongs to the CPP. I just want to teach you that you're going to make up your mind and grow up. When you say you're signing a document, you're not signing and say you're changing your mind and you're doing this and that. No. When you sign documents, you are held to that document. So here we are now. UP is threatened because they cannot field a candidate in the senatorial election. So the other day they demonstrated, and the chairman made a speech. So let's hear it, okay? Let's just take some time and hear all of this blah, 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 blah.
I'd like to welcome you wherever you are online tour. And this is where we are. So welcome. Having several meetings in there. Hierarchies of the political party. Please share this video. Keep following online too. My name is Emmanuel.
Which you man bad way, huh?
All right. So, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. The chairman now will read the petition that we submitted to all of the different international organizations. You know, we started this morning at the U.S. Embassy. We've been at the ECOWAS. We've been at the EU, and we just delivered at the UN. So he will quickly read it for the press and everyone in the public. Chairman.
So first, let me thank the press for joining us on this journey. And I will read the letter we distributed to each of the embassies. Their Excellency, greetings. Please accept our compliments and appreciation for the continuous work in Liberia and the role you have incessantly played to ensure that our country remains a peaceful and democratic nation governed by the rule of law. The Unity Party would like to call the attention of the international community to ongoing political maneuverings intended to eliminate competition in the 2023 general and presidential elections by excluding viable political opposition. Such dangerous maneuverings present early warning of the stifling and consequent failure of Liberia's democracy, which the international community has helped to protect and sustain with substantial financial and technical resources. Over the past months, the National Elections Commission has incrementally lacked transparency in its dealings with the Unity Party. This is not an isolated action by the NDC, but a part of a well-planned enterprise to target and eliminate the Unity Party and its standard bearer from the 2023 elections, as opinion polls conducted throughout the country by media institutions show that the party presents real chance of reclaiming power in the 2023 general and presidential elections. The very poor performance by the ruling party in the 2020 midterm senatorial and by-elections proved just how the government has become very unpopular with the people. The NEC, which is presided over by 7 commissioners, 4 of whom are evidently members of the ruling coalition of democratic change, is working in every possible way to ensure the implementation of the plan mentioned in the assertions are based on the following factual scenarios. 1. Notwithstanding the fact that 6 of the 8 signatories to the framework document, including 3 of the 4 political leaders of the then collaborating political parties, CPP, alerted the NEC that the CPP framework document is to use an unconstitutional and objectionable clause in the framework document, that the 2 parties have complained of not signing as the main tool in a plot to prevent UP from fielding a candidate in the Lofa senatorial by-election. NEC rather abdicated on its own duty of review, since it was their place to call the parties' attention to any unconstitutional provision in rules and constitutions of political parties. Would NEC have accepted and filed the same document had it contained a provision calling for the arrest and incarceration of a political leader who would decide to opt out of the alliance? The answer is no, because such provision, like the controversial exit clause, will be a void ab initio. 3. The NEC chairperson's earlier posture of transparency and credibility is being undermined by her criminal indictment, which the government uses as a blackmail to carry out its exact meanings, or it will proceed with a prosecution where she refuses. What NEC and the government are trying to achieve equates to a ban of the Unity Party and all Liberian Party as a penalty for exercising the constitutional rights to and not associate guaranteed by Article 17 of the 1986 Constitution. Assuming that this were to happen, it would mean that not only Unity Party's standard bearer, Joseph N. Baga, will be precluded from appearing on the ballot paper in 2023 on the party's ticket, but that all current lawmakers, both parties seeking to re-election through the political institutions, are also banned. Such lawmakers will include Honorable Clarence Mazapan, Francis Numelin of the Unity Party from Bofa. How much more will the people of Bofa accept after the political vision and denial of Senator-elect Brownie Samukai from taking his seat and an ongoing denial of the rights of Mr. Glapohkpa Chesson from participating in the ensuing senatorial by-elections? What, for instance, would be the positions of the UP partisans and constituents of District 3, 11, and 17 in Montserrado County, District number 2, Refugee, District 4 in Bong, District 4 in Margibi, District 1 in Maryland County, respectively, when their lawmakers are denied their constitutional right of contesting on the political party of their choice in the 2023 elections? What would it mean for all those aspirants desiring to contest on the United Party's ticket both for the Senate and the House of Representatives? More importantly, what will it mean for the hundreds and thousands of Liberians who will be effectively disenfranchised from voting for candidates for their choice on the UP tickets? If NEC is not quickly stopped from implementing its reckless and mischievous ploy, we are afraid of the resultant political convulsions and political uncertainties, which can prove injurious to Liberia's peace and security. We submit to you that the political exclusion and denial of the rights of the citizens to freely elect public officials of their choice on the tickets of parties to choose to lead to a reversal of the peace that we enjoy in this country. We are quickly reminded of our country's checkered history of banned political parties during the 1985 elections and the opposition's rejection of the outcome of those elections. That situation set the final basis for Liberia's decline into chaos. After the elections in 1985, a military invasion to dethrone the government quickly followed in November of the same year, but was aborted. All Liberians are aware of the devastating effects of the full-scale civil war that ensued in December 1989. This historical reminder is necessary to ensure that all Liberians make it their obligation to reject proclivities for the bitter past and protect the peace and security. The international community is called upon to take interest in these developments and ensure that all the players do the right things and save our democracy with sentiments of our highest esteem. Thank you.
Thank you. Our partisans will now show to the headquarters of the Unity Party.
Statement there from the Unity Party. So, folks, listen to the chairman. Listen to the chairman of the Unity Party, Mo Adan. I mean Mo Adan, and we have spoken in a loud tone. So just in case you just joining us, this is Cool Online 2 and Cool 91.9 and you are quite aware of what is trending. And it's all trending from the pending senatorial election in Lofa County, where the Unity Party is struggling in a live serious issue.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. So we can see as we progress towards the 2023 election, more and more situations and causes for violence are springing up. Right now, Unity Party is saying that if they cannot field a candidate in this senatorial election that's forthcoming, nobody will be elected. There'll be no election. So we hope that our country's peace will stand as it is. We hope that this election will be one that will involve the participation of all Liberian people. It will be peaceful, it will be monitored well, and the outcome will be beneficial to Liberia and the people of Liberia. That's my topic, my point on this topic. I'm done with it. Let's move forward. Let me take a break. I'll be back for my next topic. topic. Soon, everybody. Soon. Well, now it's time to focus on my people on the Buduburam refugee camp in Ghana. This morning they're in school again, and they have a teacher that's going over the lesson with them. And you too can have an opportunity to learn something about baking from the friends of Rodney Chesson on Buduburam refugee camp in Ghana. Here they go. Take heed, pay attention, learn, and govern yourselves accordingly.
The sugar, then the wet ingredients, it has to do with the margarine, the milk, the egg. So when we're writing the notes, we make it explicit so you understand it. We put wet ingredients, we put the product that's supposed to be on a dry ingredients, we put something like it. Then we come with the metal. Okay? So it's very easy when I'm teaching you people it because time for us to write, you will know. So what are the dry ingredients we are talking about? Okay. Okay. Good. And salt. You have salt. So the wet ingredients is what? Water, milk, egg. It's not all. The essence. The vanilla. So you people should know it, okay? Because sometimes when you go somewhere, they ask you, what are you doing? How do you call this? You say, oh, this one are the dry ingredients. You feel to know the dry ingredients, okay? But the one thing that works, anything that works has to do with the wet ingredients. Except when you mix the product together now, then you know that it has nothing to do with wet ingredient or dry ingredient because everything combined. So now we are coming to do shortbread, the wrapping method. They have some of the pastries, they have some wrapping method, they have the cooking method, boiling method. Some cake you come across, you boil it. They get cake that you can put in water and boil it and we bake it. You don't have to put it in the oven. So yes, you come across those things. So gradually we are about to start. Now, the shortbread, when you're ready to do the shortbread, you know that bring me the half cup. When you are doing the shortbread doesn't carry too much sugar. It doesn't carry sugar. These are the cups that you use. They want for the margarine, half cup, which is equal to 1 mace. I don't know whether it's to your body maces. Yes. So if you do 1 mace, they have 2 maces. As you add in, it's going to maces and maces. But when you do one, you say 1 mace. So now we are doing 4 maces each because you are going to sell. Okay, it's not something to say that the measurement for the shortbread is small. You know, 2 cups is for 1 mace. So now we are doing 2 maces each. So what we are doing here is for one mace, we know 2 of the cup is equal to 8 ounces, right? Yes. So when we're doing 4 is equal to how many? 1 pound, which is 16 ounces. Don't forget. Okay. So the margarine 2 is this. We are doing 3 of this, which is a half cup. So the half cup is equal to 4 ounces. It's equal to what? 4 ounces. Do you have plastic? So in case we do a margarine, we know how to do it. Okay, no problem. We'll single flour inside. So now we are about to start. We are not creaming. We are rubbing. So who is the group leader? Come here. Where's the phone?
Okay. Mama, a lot of that apple was on.
No, I can see where they
Okay.
go. They go on the movie. So
Okay.
you are the group leader. Get your book. Where's the book?
Your pen.
This is the creamy okay. So now the seal is set. You see to 0. Everybody see it's set to 0, right? You see it's set to 0, right? That's how it's supposed to be set. So when you are working, if you see a twisted this, you have to come back and do like this. Yeah? So now we are about to measure our flour. The flour we are measuring, we want 1 pound flour. So she's
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That was a little short class going on this morning on the Buduburam refugee camp in Ghana. I just wanted to give you a little synopsis of what they're doing so you can see how my people are learning the Friends of Rodney Chesson on the Buduburam refugee camp in Ghana. That's my class for this morning. I hope you enjoyed it. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Enjoy yourself this weekend. I'll be on tomorrow morning to take you through the weekend so we can get together and have some funky good time. This is Total Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. I am out. Have a good day.